Guys, it's so cool because I never get a chance to get this one. I always walk by it on the rock. Like, somebody got to be doing mirror magic. And I mean, guess what happened? How I know that Malachi Empire in on it, because once they figured that shit out, they've been watching me for a while. They didn't never say no names of the other lady that talked on the phone, and even Neapolis, aka Hellraiser, General Hellraiser, um, Neapolis Malik Malachi. He don't say, he don't even say his name when he get on there. I was like, wow, I think I'm talking to the general, and I was actually happy. But then they had this other lady on there one day, and she sound different. She never said her name, but that when they that last time when I had called them, and when I was already getting ready to tell them I don't want to be a part of this shit, just quit it, because I was already picking up on the energy that they was fucking with me. That's why I still haven't received, a month and a week later, I still haven't received my cards that I ordered way back, my tribal membership card, and which was supposed to be free when I paid for the 149.99 amount, um, for the annual membership fee. This one of the ladies, she tried to charge me for that plus the IDL and IDP. So I was like, these motherfuckers is playing around. So basically, they already knew that they was gonna scam me to take my money and then act like, nothing ever happened. And they didn't even. It was all kind of craziness going on with that company. And guess what her name was when they finally called me that last time, before I told them that I shared my experience, and then before Malachi, Malik Malachi, Neapolis Malik Malachi, aka General Hellraiser, called me cursing me out and shit. She finally told me her name was A-Mira. The way she said it let me know, Miss A-Mira. The one lady name they finally say was A-Mira. You don't, hey, y'all picking up on it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say. It's people be how you find out there's a connection some of the time, or I should say most of the time, not all of the time, is that they all say something. I was gonna say in conjunction. They all say something that each one of them have said energetically. And I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know how to explain it yet, but that's how sometimes I found out somebody, even in on top of that happening, that person energy would be felt in another. For instance, a bus 52 route driver, a new driver. I knew that after I kept declining his offer to take me out to dinner, they always sending somebody to try to take me out to dinner. For some time that wasn't happening, and that's how I knew something. There was something about that, and it was the type of guys. It was just energetically, the approach was like, it was something off with, even with their approach, how they tried to all take me out to dinner. And I was like, nah, I know that sounds crazy, like I'm being paranoid, but it was those few men who was, and it was only black men who was doing it at that time. Up here in Oregon, that's rare. Like, they don't really be dealing with us chocolate sisters like that. So that's one way how I knew something was off about it. But anyways, the bus 52 route driver, he resembled, and he's not the only one. There's one other man who came and met me at the Dollar Tree down the street from that Safeway where the gay stalkers always coming to meet me at. The Safeway store, the Dollar Tree is right down the street, like on the other side of this On Point Community Credit Union. I had took a walk because I forgot I need to go get some more pull-ups for my son, for when he's in the bed. I don't need him peeing and I have to keep washing. But anyways, or if he poop and he take his diaper off and throw it on the throw it off, I don't blame him, baby. Get that stuff off of you. But anyways, that man, that that a guy I met down there at that Dollar Tree, that you can't see. I could walk down to it, but I'm about to go home. I don't have time to do that right now. So the other guy that was, Papa, please have a seat. The other guy I met, hold on, I have my cigar. The other guy I met at that Dollar Tree, plus the man I met on the bus route, they both resemble my son's father. I was like, that man looked like he's some kinfolk to my baby dad. And my baby dad is allegedly tied in with some people he's some kin, according to what he said, he's kinfolk to people in the industry. So that's why if that guy that looked like Bobby Brown was Bob, I wouldn't be surprised if that really was Bobby Brown trying to um, stop me to get me in his car. And no, sir. Sorry. Yeah, you're welcome. So, anyways, that the other one, both of them resembled my son's father, and I didn't. And I want to get back to the. I got distracted by this random guy. They always sometimes come and ask me if I have a cigarette. No, I don't. Sorry, babe. But So, anyways, the guy on the bus route 52, which is the main bus that tried to give us problems. Another video on my channel shows a lady trying to give me a hard time to make me get off the bus, but the gentleman saw what she was doing, so they said no, and they made some people move so that we could stay on the bus and not get kicked out. I thank God so much for that. Like there's still some gentlemen out here, and I took the bus so that I wouldn't get harassed by cops until I get the situations figured out with my car title and making sure that my ex didn't sell me a stolen car, but but they keep checking it, and it's not coming back stolen, but they were creative some kind of way, so I want to make sure it's completely legit before I try to put that vehicle in my trust account. So anyways, that man that was on bus 52 was an African American melanated male, and he asked me out to dinner. He walked over to me when he was supposed to be driving the bus and walked over and asked me out to dinner. And it was just a way, I don't know how to explain it energetically. It's like he was spitting game at me because he had another agenda behind him. Like he was trying to get me to bite the bait of going out to dinner for some other agenda that he had. And they tried, since they saw I caught on to all the African American men they were sending my way, they tried to throw a Mexican in. I was like, no, y'all. And then when they saw that didn't work, then they go try to go back to black men. They slipped a couple white dudes in there, but excuse me. But one of them happened to be a soulmate. That's what they get. One of the white dudes happened to be a past life soulmate or something like that because of the connection that was there. So, anyways, that guy, after about 2 weeks, and he kept trying to press so hard, just like the other men did, like they were angry that I wasn't going out to dinner with them. That's when I knew it was a problem, baby, because they was getting angry. I was like, it's not a big deal. Do you know how many vaginas there are out here? Come on now, you trying too hard, baby. So anyways, I had said to myself, watch, in about 2 weeks that I ain't gonna see him riding that on that route no more. They just gonna suddenly, he just gonna disappear. In about 2 weeks, less than a month, that man was not riding on that route no more. It was literally 2 weeks that he wasn't there riding that route. And I was like, and then so it was stuff like that happening. And then one day, and I could tell those men were from California. It was their energy. And my baby's dad is from California as well. He's in his Sacramento right now, unless he didn't brought his ass up here to harass me like he claimed he was gonna do. But the other guy I met at the Dollar Tree down the street right there, he came walking around, and I knew it was something off about it. His nose, it reminded me of the phenotype he had it resembled my son's father and the other melanated man who was on the bus. So I was like, these must be family. That he's sending after me. So I said no to that guy too, and they all get mad and get upset when I don't go out to dinner with their ass for some reason. My son keeps throwing his hat off. I think he's hot because I have a sweater on him and a jacket plus the hat. I understand, Papa. I get it, baby. It's too hot. Hey, honey. So yeah, I can't leave my son at home, and until I get stuff straight. So yeah, I have no choice but to be out here at night until I get that stuff fixed. I was trying to do that today, and then another officer came. He was like, I could give you plenty tickets, but I'm just going to give you this one. Like, it was two undercover officers around where I live, and then a motorcycle cop. They were all in the same area at the same time today. Today, it was Officer Alan Bowman. He was a handsome redneck biker looking dude, and he was kind when he got to this. It's like once they look in my eyes, man, that evilness that they was planning on doing, it goes away. They all of a sudden they become kind and polite, it's like they can't fulfill the full job that they set out to do, like whoever sent them. And I have a short, small little skit video of, not skit, but like a really small, short clip is what I meant to say, of of my of me in the driver's seat, and it was a undercover cop in front of me. This time they got smart because of people like myself who know how to identify some of the vehicles. And I was like, no, something off about it. And they actually had the orange plate on the back, but they made sure they didn't have a spotlight on it, because they know that's one of the main things that identifies them as an undercover car. Because they tried the other ones where it has a spotlight but it looks like a regular Ford vehicle. So now they added like they removed the spotlight on those vehicles so that you can't tell. But the thing is, I saw the gate that separates the front seat from the back seat for, like, if they put a suspect in the car. And so that's why I was getting a video, and as I was doing that, I put my phone down because I saw a motorcycle cop, and then he got straight behind me. But yesterday I had a licensed driver with me, but there was no guy that was there was no police in sight when I had um the another Caucasian European American come and drive me to take me over there to where I was trying to go. There was no police. Then the very next day, all of a sudden, two, it was one black, they were black SUV undercover cop cars with no spotlight on the outside, but I saw the little fence on the inside of the car, because there was a little bit of light that shined through the tint of the window. I was like, oh, that's the undercover cop right there. And then, but what they didn't stop me. It was one driving in the opposite direction, and the other one was in front of me in the direction that I was headed. So when I was following the one that was headed the direction I was planning on heading to go drop off some items to Goodwill that I've been trying to drop off for the longest, I saw, all of a sudden, on the left side of the street, I saw a motorcycle cop sitting there. I was like, this is a setup for real, bro, because they went nowhere in sight. But at the same time, they try to stress me out. But I'm like, I have the knowledge now what I need to do. I just didn't get to fulfill accomplishing that task yet of what do you call it? Basically, exiting myself out of the contracts of the state, so that I'm not, like, seen as driving, since they want to fuck up my driving record. Everything fell off my driving record. Now all of a sudden they want to make a new cycle of me having multiple tickets for driving while suspended. And that's all they give me a ticket for, and my insurance expired, so they didn't give me a ticket for insurance or for registering the car or anything else. They specifically do one. They keep doing the same thing, each one of those officers, except for one. He wanted to go hard in the paint, but I think that was the gay one, because he had his buddy roll up on the grass all of a sudden when I was heading to Tiger in a blue truck with some logs cut up on the back. You can go check that out. It was one of the videos that was saying something about when karmic masculine want to abuse his authority to make you bow down to him or something like that. And then at the end of the video, you see where all of a sudden he ain't even finished talking to me yet. Then some dude roll up in a truck and he turned around like, oh, his attitude was like, oh, there's my bud. And then he turned around and I just waved to him and say, okay, sir, I'm going over here now. And he lets me drive off. And the funny part is they let me drive off anyways. And they all say, I'm not going to tow your car. Like, damn. But I was like, at the end of the day, I took my power back, and mentally and emotionally, because I was like, well, at the end of the day, these tickets aren't still not going to hold me back in other areas of my life. So, baby, please. They just trying to call themselves doing something to make them feel like they're doing something to make me feel like I'm blocked, or to make me feel heavy and stressed in my emotions. Nah, baby, that ain't gonna work. So yeah, I just want to let y'all know about that Mira stuff. I don't know if it's Mira magic, or if it's from my old organization I used to work for when I was making wire harnesses for hydraulic equipment that they use to drill holes in Alaska, or like when they making holes. I forgot what they make the holes for. They're drilling into the ice and stuff. But yeah, that company was called Miratron, and I remember I didn't know it at the time, but there was gang stalkers there too. like a lady being upset and then teaching me the wrong way how to make something, and I knew she was teaching me the wrong way, and I tried to correct her. I was like, but isn't it supposed to be like this? And then she was like, no. And then when I followed what she told me to do, and then she was like, oh, you're doing it wrong. See, look at this shit. Motherfucking needle and the tree. Y'all some ratchet motherfuckers. But you know what? I appreciate you, because at least ain't nobody gonna walk on it accidentally and accidentally stab themselves. They want to save it for later. They said, here, tree, hold this. Now that's pitiful. That's why I don't like this area too much. But I'll get out of it eventually in due time. Even if it's me, well, I don't want to claim being homeless again, but you know how these people be trying to work situations out where all of a sudden something happened. Baby, if that happened, you know I'm going hard in the paint. But that ain't gonna, not no time soon. And if it do, shoot, God got us. Just like last time, we weren't even, when I was homeless, God had us in a decent situation where my son and I didn't have to go to a shelter. It was like it was a hotel that was through a program. Even they eventually got to the people in the program. I could tell, because both people, a community action and family promise, both did the same thing. They both, after about a week or two, all of a sudden they went on vacation at two separate times. And then after they came back from the vacation, they were all of a sudden silent and refused to help us to get into like the way the organization claimed that they help families. And I saw them helping other families in the ways that they were supposed to, and the other people were black people too. One was a gang stalker, because that lady, she said, oh, you look good now, girl, you look good. I was like, how's she here all of a sudden at another Safeway store in Beaverton by my other PO box? So I was like, oh God. Then when I realized what was going on later, looked back on those situations and I realized what was going on. I was like, oh my goodness. This lady was following me. She had a son too, but I had a baby, and she had a place way before I had a place with my son. And her son was like maybe 12 years old. But I'm saying, like, usually when they do that, if they don't get the mom with the youngest kid out first, it'll be around the same time. But my son and I, we never got help, so that's why I knew we were being attacked, because that lady, she had moved out, and I noticed and she was an African American woman, and she also had a red SUV car. So that's how I knew, don't y'all start, you'll get effed up. Because they always got excuse me, a car with three people in it that just roll up all of a sudden. It used to be a white version of that same car. And now they just sitting there. What y'all doing? Damn. But anyways, we all right. I'm almost back home anyways. So yeah, I just wanted to share all that with you guys, because I forgot to tell that part about the Mira. That it was funny about that lady saying her name was A-Mira, and the way she said it. That's why I was like, oh, that's a pretty name. Man, I be reading people that's fake so well sometimes. Because I could tell how she was talking to me, that they all were in on whatever Neapolis Malik Malachi, aka General Hellraiser, was trying to do. So-called Chief General Hellraiser was trying to do. And then look, there's a car down the street with both of their doors open, but you can't see it too good, and I ain't got time to be trying to zoom in on it right now. And look at all these people all of a sudden right here on scooters just doing all kind of stuff. They send people out, but that stuff don't bother me no more. When they all of a sudden out the woodworks, a bunch of people come around, I start focusing, I start realizing what was going on when people would come around, and they'll start like, it's the same thing they do with the motorcycles. Like, say, like if me and my son were just walking, all of a sudden a group of people on motorcycles would come riding down, making a bunch of noise. That's just an example. But if they don't have a motorcycle, they'll use like little crotch rockets. What do you call those? Pocket bikes, or they'll use scooters. But it's okay, because I realize all they're trying to do is just make me feel like isolated, like I'm like how posse groups do in high school. When, like, someone said it earlier today, that was the perfect example, like at school, how they have different tables where the unpopular kids and the nerds, and then the popular kids, they all sit at their own groups in their tables, at their own separate tables. I hate that kind of stuff, that hierarchy bullshit. But the funny part is, I feel like the unpopular kids, we're the ones who like the isolated, the kids that were isolated because we were not popular, we're the ones who are the most important, because it seemed like everybody always be focusing on us all the time, even when we're allegedly not popular. Everybody be knowing who you are, and trying to bully you and stuff to make sure you never in school become who they see you, who you really are, especially the nerds, because they be the hella smart ones. Those should be the popular kids if you ask me. I like that. So anyways, the gang stalking doesn't bother me anymore. Only when they're trying to do stuff kind of like my therapist did when he twisted my words and took something that I was telling him and that was supposed to be confidential, and it wasn't nothing about harming anyone. In fact, when I did say something that could be considered something that he could say that I need to be checked on, is when a situation when a woman was trying to harm me that was a friend of mine, and I had said something about I could have ended her life, but instead I chose to walk away. And I even told that woman recently the reason why I walked away is because I did not want to lose my son, just because she didn't give a damn about her children. She was so like focused on trying to intimidate me and bully me because I wouldn't bow down to her, because she was like a blood chick, and she was acting like she was my friend, but she was a set up vibes the whole time. That's why she was working with people who was working against me. All of a sudden, I'm like, you a blood? How you know this informant that's a Crip, and you cool with him? And even I don't fuck with him, and I was dealing with Crips, so what the hell? So you just gotta be careful, man. People be on some BS. That's why I don't care about. Like it looked absolutely retarded when people be shooting other people because of a color they got on, but the same group that's going after another group because of different colors that they repping, because they with a different crew. They, some of those same people be working with the ops. Some of the same people on their team be working with the ops, with somebody from the opposition's team. That's why it looks so retarded and stupid and redundant to me. But yeah, I'm just running my mouth out here. It's cold as hell. I'm trying to get back. When I get off this phone now, I'm gonna walk faster to get up in the house. It was refreshing to get out the house and go for a walk though. And gang stalking, it doesn't mess with my mind mentally. How like having a bunch of people come around me and do stuff, that stuff don't bother me, because they gonna F around and find out one day. Keep on. Long as y'all don't put your hands on me like trying to be violent, you good. You can get your money in gang stock. I don't mind. Just don't be trying to be violent. Don't hurt my son, and don't hurt me. But yeah, other than that, it doesn't bother me as long as they're not trying to cause harm. Whether like if it's a so like if somebody doing something to set up so we could get kicked out and lie on us, and then like this investigation shit, then that's when we have a real problem. But walking around and making noise on motorcycle, I'm cool with that. All right, y'all, I'm out.